Hello everyone, I'm OrionX1000, and some more leaks were dropped about Elden Ring. This is basically part 2 of my previous video, and hopefully I don't need to do a part 3, honestly. Keep in mind that this new set of information is massive, but still must be taken with a grain of salt. Anyway, the rumors are as follows. Okay, here we go. A day-night cycle has been added, and it's not just for cosmetic window dressing. Different enemies and events will occur depending on the time of day. A dynamic weather system is also here. Elden Ring marks the departure from the static worlds of previous titles to a much more dynamic one. Enemies will change their positioning constantly, and events in the open world will occur without the player manually triggering them. The world of Elden Ring moves on its own and is filled with dangers, threats, and rewards to make exploration worth it. Roaming enemies of various sizes will be in the vast open world, and you will see large roaming creatures in the distance while exploring. Elden Ring marks a major evolution in From Software's action RPG formula, but to advance they went back to pillars of the original Dark Souls, which was the sense of world it had. The open world of Elden Ring is fully interconnected and players are free to explore it as they see fit. It is filled to the brim with secrets and areas to explore. One of the core pillars of Elden Ring's design was to make sure they created a meaningful and fully realized world to the best of their ability. A world that contains a wide variety of exciting situations and experiences in the open world. To really make the world feel alive and as fully realized as possible, like a place you could truly immerse yourself in and lose hours to, and to a massively greater degree than in previous titles. The game doesn't take place in just a single land like past FromSoft titles, but multiple, each with their own distinct qualities, characteristics, visuals, and recognizable inhabitants. The Elden Ring itself affects the open world in massive ways, and its impact can be felt in the open world very strongly. Elden Ring will have the highest gear count and variety in any FromSoft action RPG yet. Players will have more options in how they approach situations than in previous Souls titles. Underground exploration plays a significant role in the game. The enemy AI has been enhanced to reflect the more sophisticated gameplay systems and open world. Enemies will now perform more elaborate and intelligent tactics in battle. The open world of Elden Ring will allow for much more interesting and dynamic combat situations due to the vast spaces you'll be exploring. There is an emphasis on making path commitment worth it. The more you make your way through a dangerous location, the rewards will really reflect that and will feel worth venturing in for. An enhanced lighting system is also here to add to the immersion of this ever-changing open world. You could enter a zone at dawn on a rainy day and exit with the night setting in and clouds clearing the way for the sky. To make the world even more immersive, wildlife is included as well. Online functionality and PvP is here. A reminder that Miyazaki has stated in the IGN interview that there will be interesting activities besides combat this time around. For the first time, the world will be populated with different races, unlike previous FromSoft titles where most races were humans or humanoid. While Elden Ring is a dark fantasy open world game, he also labels it a high fantasy title due to the scale of the world, locations, and narrative being of a much grander scale. With grandiose fantasy locations, you'll explore to reflect that. George R.R. Martin's involvement can be fully felt, as this is the most fully realized world From Software has ever created, with an almost encyclopedic amount of history to it. It is a world with already functioning bodies, kingdoms, and major players. Even gods and demigods are in. The shattering of the Elden Ring has affected every single facet of the inhabitants' lives, and the world itself. You, as the player, will see the effects of this existential crisis on the world and its peoples as you make your way through it. When the Elden Ring shattered, the barrier that kept out the most horrible and unimaginable things broke down, and these things have been slowly making their way in. Schools of magic just aren't about what magic elements they wield. but what organization you feel the most connected to, and which ideals you most closely believe in. Each organization has its own ideologies and motivations. This will be reflected in their sub-narratives as well as the people who wield it. Your player character is human. That bit of information of the human character, that's kind of okay. I mean, I feel like that was kind of given, but players will be given a more personal story narrative and motivation in comparison to past titles. The game will have a brighter overall tone, but will also have plenty of the weird and bizarre things you'd expect from a From Software game. Some of the darkest stuff they've ever done is here as well. Honestly guys, this does feel more credible than the 4chan leak, and this was such a mouthful to talk about. You guys have no idea how many times I had to retake audio clips to make this video. But anyway, what do you guys think? Original article is in the description, as well as the link to the RESETERA thread. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, buy my book ULTRAHUMAN, and stay awesome.